Music. Yeah.
Milsurp Garage. So we got the Colt Detective Special out here. We're going to do a little cleaning. You know, with these revolvers, got to admit, taking apart, doing any type of intrusive stuff on these revolvers is new to me. I was, even though I have a few of these, I never really went inside. But I was bold enough to take the side plate here off of this Smith & Wesson, the Model 10 that we did the video on a ways back there. And the amazing difference it made in how it feels, and how the action feels. It's amazing. So, of course, that one did have a long career, a long law enforcement career, so who knows what it had been through. But inside was pretty clean. And I opted to not take apart any parts, to like just disassemble the whole thing. And some of the comments were kind of rough. Somebody said if you don't take it down to at least 30 parts or 20 parts, you didn't clean it right. He said something like that. And the way I look at it is I try to like less is more when it comes to this kind of stuff. If like this guy, I am pretty sure has never been apart. And just taking the side plate off was a choice. It was a decision to make to actually even to go that far. I decided to, but I really doubt I'm going to remove any of the internals. I think I'm just going to take a look at how it looks from right there and clean it from right there, just like I did with the Smith & Wesson. This is going to be a test in how not to bugger screws, how to get these side plates off, how it's something as clean and brand new as this to not mess it up. And with that, let's get started. First, going to use just this generic screwdriver here to get the grips off, because this isn't like a tight screw or anything. And we can just degrip it nice and easy like this. By the way, these grips, which is something really cool, is grease penciled on there. Not sure if you're going to be able to see this, but you could see there's a 285. The last of the serial number on here is I believe it was 285. I have to take a look. Sorry, I gotta pull it away from you just to take a quick look. Oh man, I can't see anything anymore. I'm done. Yes, it's 285. Sorry. Woo! Let me get the right, speaking of which, let me get the right glasses on here. So, yeah, there's a 285 lined. There's a 285 here on the grip, written in like a grease pencil. See that? That's pretty cool. It wouldn't take long for that to be worn off, just from age, you know what I mean? That would disappear. So, well, I give you a little, and guys familiar with the channel know what I use, but I'm fond of these types of dentistry tools. You do have to be careful. They're steel. They will scratch. You definitely have to select the right tool and work carefully. But there's like a, you can zoom in over here to just give you a close view of, I like this kind of flat blade here that's angled. So it's like a chisel-headed flat blade. This is good for this type of scraping off stuff. Again, you will scratch metal with it, so you do have to be careful. But something that's stubborn, that tip is good for that. I use this big wide flat tip here. Also, it's good for scraping stuff. It's not quite as sharp It's good for pushing patches along things like this to push and clean, like that guy. This is good for pushing patches into areas where you don't really have to worry as much about scratching because it's not sharp. It's still metal and it will still scratch, but you can take a patch and push it into an area to clean and rub with it, with the patch in between. That's how I use most of these tools. The only ones not like that are the actual pointy ones here. These have been mine for my cleaning tools forever. But these are good for like getting inside of screw heads and lots of, didn't Travis Bickle call somebody a screw head? And of course the old tweezer, I love this one. And I got some, these are my outers patches here. And these are some smaller Allen patches here. I got a brush, definitely seen better days. But I kind of like when the bristles get like this because you could get into edges of things and stuff. I don't know, as long as the bristles aren't falling out, I'm okay with that. It's like an old man brush. And my bore brush, which is just, you know, nothing crazy here. It's just a stick. You could put a patch through here if you want to. So you're running through the brush and then the patch goes through. You could do that if you like. And of course I got my Ballistol, big fan. Some microfiber towels, which I'm actually going to protect my gun cleaning mat right now by laying one down. Let's zoom out a little bit. And let's get started here. So, again, we've been through this before. If you've been with the channel for a while, we select bits. I use a Wheeler set, and it looks like this. There's tons of bits, all kinds of bits here. So there's a reason why there's a whole bunch of them there, which is because it's very important with these types of screwdrivers that you fit the screw to the perfect bit that's needed for this job. And these screws, you want to, and actually once you break these loose, you could avoid slipping and marring by just taking the bit. You could just use the bit handheld once you break the screw. So you don't have to worry about slipping off. It's just the weight of the screwdriver alone has to be controlled. Why did that look magnetic? It's weird. It looked like that stuck to the, it's a little odd. So definitely a special screw to locate the, oh, I did forget something. Let me get my screw tray. So here, you know what you do when you have these like these little mini muffins or something that you buy or something like that, you save one of these trays. So it's important to keep these screws like separated so you remember where each one went. And what that does is you can see that this arm here is located in here, but then it has a relief in it. So just like Smith & Wesson, it's the same thing. You'll just be able to, and you have to be careful with this. You want to be as gentle as possible. Find the spot where it comes out. It's not, definitely not loose in here. You know what I'm saying? It's, there we go. Yeah, that was kind of snug in there. But clean, but certainly looks like it could use a little lubrication just to prevent, you know, oxidation. Okay, so now to the side plate. Chances are this is not going to be the same screw bit. You can see right away this is way too large for these screws. So that's why it's laziness that messes you up. So what I like to do is, so that bit is taken out with that. So I'll just put the bit in there that was the right size for it. If I got to come back to that bit, I got to come back to it. But for now, so let's see, I'm gonna take a look at like a bit like this for this guy. Let's see how that fits in there. That feels good. So let's get in here. You want to make sure we don't have slippage. You could locate it like with your thumb like this. And you just want to break it. That's it. You just want to get it to start turning. These are, and you feel how they feel. You want to kind of put them back on the same. They're not very tight. I'll tell you that right now. They're not very tight. You could do this guy even by hand. Your hands are never going to mar it. So if you could use your hand to back it out the rest of the way. And then across here, so there's 1, 2 screws here that I see here, just 2. So I'm going to use the trays above it here, above this guy for 1, and then the one next to it. These look like they're the same size. Let's see if this guy fits in here. It does, and this was just hand. I just did this by hand, and it rotated. This guy, sorry. I just put the bit in there and turned, and it released. So definitely gonna, give it a little bit of a snug when we go back on. But again, the screw goes in there. Again, I'm locating them so it's next to it, and the bit that I used. Now, with the side plates here, and since this one is new, I know it's going to be like this. You kind of feel it, just see if it's going to just pop right up. But chances are, being brand new, it's not going to do that. So, here's what we're going to do. My Weaver hammer. Let's zoom out a little here. Let's make sure that the top of the hammer is not going to fall off. Let's make sure these things are nice and tight on here so we don't have an incident. And then you just kind of want to find a nice spot where you feel it's going to vibrate, and we just give it a shot. Let this vibration do it. And I can already feel that it's moving, but it looked like I touched it and it fell right back into place. Let's see. No prying here, ladies and gentlemen. Not with tools, at least. See? With my fingers, I could just lift this right up now. That broke it loose. So even though it looked like it didn't do anything, it did pop it loose. And there's our side plate. And this little itty bitty screw I'm seeing now. Didn't really do much research before I did this either, so I'm learning here. So this, the latch here, the springy nature of the latch, this springy nature right here of the latch is from that right there. Let's see if that comes out. See exactly what this looks like. Oh yeah, we want to keep that guy nice and protected. So for now, I'm going to lift them up and just drop them just like that right into our tray. And our serial number. Oops, sorry. I got to zoom out a little bit. It's really tough to keep everything in frame. I apologize. We got our number right on there. And you see this, how this looks? It just looks, it could definitely needs to be shiny and clean. Sorry. But internally here, some of this, like, this oil could go. There's definitely dirt here. But I really don't think it's gunked up enough where it needs to be completely disassembled. And even if it was pretty gunked up, honestly, you could just take this outside, just the way it looks right now, and just spray it with gun scrubber, hit it with a can of compressed air, and like an air duster, and then carefully lube it up. And I think you'd be fine even, but I don't even think I need to go that far. I'm going to use gun scrubber, but I'm going to use it on patches to wipe down. So let's see if I could safely cock this back like that and then release it without losing anything. Yeah, sure, definitely. I think when it's cocked, this piece here might come off. No, nothing coming off. But let's get to cleaning. So let me see. I'm gonna put it at a certain zoom level where I know you can see everything. So let's get that and the side plate up over there. Nothing tremendous going on here. It's just careful and monotonous. So I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna dig in a little closer here. And if it comes off camera, then the video is just trash. That's all. So yeah, let's see. Let's get started. So again, we'll start with the gun scrubber. We'll put the tube on just so we have some control and we're not just spraying it all over the place. And we'll just get, now this is like, you gotta remember, this is like very astringent like. So you're gonna be taking off oils here that, like the surface you're leaving behind will rust, let's say, that definitely. So you definitely need to have oil on hand for a second procedure after this procedure. So you can't just do this. And I see I could take this spring out. I see that if I push this down, if I relax this here, I'd be able to get this out. But again, there's no need. It's better to leave it how Colt put it together at this point. It's not that crazy dirty, to be honest with you. And it's true, I might be cleaning this side of the hammer, but not the other side of the hammer. I just, at this point, I'm happy to just do this level of cleaning right now and lube it up in there. And there's nothing really crazy dirty to necessitate anything more right now, in my opinion. So suddenly now, for some reason, I can't cock it back all the way anymore. Wonder why that is. What changed? It did it a minute ago. Why won't it do it now? Something changed. Something moved. I think that was it. I think this moved back, that's why. That has to be there. Right. So that's how. So you do have to be careful when this side plate goes back on. When the side plate goes on, this right here has to go through. So this is what this guy connects to. That's what that goes in there. Interesting. So when the side plate first comes off, you definitely got to kind of see the orientation of everything. There are a couple of things right there that moved, that matter to how everything works here. Looking good. Interesting function. There's a little teeny spring in there. Can you see that? So that's something you want to be careful with. You don't want to shove the patch down in there. This spot where this is springy, there's a spring in there. So keep your eyes open. You can damage stuff with just a patch. I mean, it's possible. It is possible. Okay, I think that's it for that. You see how right away it starts to blotch. It starts to blotch the steel. You see that? Right away, without oil on it. It's amazing how fast that happens, but it does happen fast. But that does get it, or it gets it around. Just holding it like this does that. Now, let's take a new one. I'll show you what I'm going to do. Another use for this tool is it catches the patch when you rotate. So you see, it does that kind of motion. So you can get it into these areas like this and rotate. And if it's stuck in there, don't use it to dig out and scratch. You will scratch that. You want to be very careful not to scratch that. It's almost like a piston, like a bore, piston bore. Look at, see? Look what came out of there, see? Once again, just make sure that the patch is protecting the metal. Well, that's getting pretty clean in there if it's squeaking, huh? Nice. Look at that. That's a fair amount of dirt to just pull out of there. Give it a minute, you know, let it evaporate. We're pretty much done. As a matter of fact, we could just use the same patch. Why not? Let's just push it through the bore. Why not? Just quickly. There's nothing in there, but just do that quick. Now, we reverse gears and we go to the ballast stall. Now, why? We have other parts we need to clean, but that's how how important it is not to just leave it laying around. Whoop. You know what? Using this one, I don't even need to. Here we go. Ballast stall. This one nice and moistened up with ballast stall. We love ballast stall. Let's do this bore here first that we just did. Let's get this in there. Got it in there good. Nice. Now everything that we touched, that bore is real shiny. It doesn't even have bluing to protect it. So let's just push this through the bore quick and just oil the bore. Very good. This back around over here, neaten things up a little bit. Get some more oil on here. All right. Don't want to go too crazy now. Sparingly is good. But we definitely want to hit all these areas. Just a wet patch at this point is fine. We want to hit all these areas that we got this astringent all over. And you know, a final wipe down, of course, so you don't have to worry about any extra that you get on anything out here. Make sure the forcing cone gets nice and covered. Let's let the hammer down now. Get back in here. Back in these nooks where the side plate goes. Don't let your patch dry out. Oh no. And we're going to wipe this down. We don't want anything seriously wet contacting the wood, that's for sure. So, no, this is just really just to make sure that it's protected. That's what this type of lubrication right here is, just for corrosion protection. That's looking pretty good. I'm pretty sure we hit everything. Now we can kind of take a look at its function. Let's get this part back into place again. Go. Now let's just touch a couple of these spots. Nice. That's looking good. Let's just get a little lube right in there. And now let's just let that rest for a while. Turn it upside down so anything that needs to like drip out, drips out. Let's check out this side plate here. So for the side plate and the latch release here. Let's do some gun scrubber. One of these days we'll fully dismantle one of these revolvers, but being honest with you, I'm telling you, I don't really have a tremendous amount of experience with them. See these screw holes? These screw holes, that's what this guy's good for too. You just make sure you don't push through the cloth. See, it felt to me like it needed to be a little bit more than doubled. So let's go with doubled and then doubled again. That's good. See that? And you just go right inside there. Nice. Nice. And the latch. So yeah, as I grow with confidence, we'll you know, I'll get to the point where full disassemblies could happen with these if necessary. I just really just don't think that it's necessary right now. I really don't. And it's nice to, if you're pretty sure it's never been apart, to keep it that way if you can, you know, if it's possible. If it's not necessary is what I'm saying. And there we go. We're good with that. I'm not sure if I need any gun scrubber on this unit at all. I think with this unit, we're just gonna do a little wipe down here. Well, maybe let's take, where's that gun scrubber patch? This is the oily patch. Let's just do that. This one's done. It's starting to froth up. Oh, that feels nice. That really does. Alrighty, that's good. Let's get an oily patch here on this side plate. Just lube this up a bit. Get in there really good. And since we're putting screws in there to cover that, let's make sure, like this, that those screw holes got oiled. Because we did, remember we used the gun scrubber in there, and then we'll dump a screw back in there, and when you go to take it out again, it'll have oxidized in there. So we'll just dump a little oil inside those reliefs, the screw reliefs there, just to make sure they get lubed. And kind of like the same deal with this little pin right there. This guy we could just kind of wipe down with our fingers, make sure it gets hit good. Same thing with this side cover, just make sure. All right, I think we're just about ready for reassembly. What I'm going to do is, I'm just going to go over this with a wipe down, just anything that's seriously wet to get off. Let's see what it looks like. Definitely looks like an improvement. No? Look at that. Nice. That definitely mattered. And even though I'm wiping off any surface oil here, the oil that's still on these pivot points, on these pins, it all soaks inside and it's all where it needs to be. That part is where it needs to be. And now let's go with reassembly. Oh, actually, let's just take these screws. I like to do this. Take these screws, take a ballast oily patch here. Hold the screw. And we go counterclockwise while we squeeze the threads. And I'll show you, you don't think that does anything, right? But look at that. That's what was in the threads. Okay. I'm going to show you again if you don't believe it. We'll use the clean side. See? Screw looks clean, right? Put it in there. Squeeze the threads with our fingers. What am I doing? Counterclockwise. Squeeze tight. Counterclockwise. You can feel when it's done. Like all of a sudden it starts turning easy. Look at that. There's literally chunks of stuff. That matters. And you're doing it with an oily rag, so. And I'm going to orientate these screws properly. It was that one there, that one there. Let's drop the side plate on. Not sure if a certain side, oh, there you go. I wasn't sure if a certain side went in first. That certainly went on nice and smooth. Maybe a little too smooth. I didn't think it was just going to drop down that far so fast. We have to put this latch on. Again, you want to watch it with the prying. Even with your fingers, with these sharp edges on this thing, you have to be careful. You don't want to make any marks on anything. Let's just do it that way. I think the best thing to do is slide this in here. Whoops, slide this in here. Oh wait, the spring, that little spring. Where is that little guy? You were probably yelling at me. So it looks like it's a spring with a plunger. See that? Wow, that's tiny. Let's just clean the plunger. And oil it at the same time. There we go. And this spring, I'm gonna be very careful. I'm just gonna rotate it in my fingers this way. Rotate it in my fingers that way. Just barely squeezing. Oh wow, look at how that shined up though. Nice. And then the plunger back in here. That plunger bore. What do we do about that? It's interesting. It's got a real cycle that's got to clean that out, I'll tell you. But sometimes, you know, sometimes that's how I am. Oh, it went right in there. Hold on. Let's see, what can we use? Be careful with this. Let's just shove it in there. Get as much of that in there wedged in as we can. And then maybe we'll do a little rotation. Nice. Bloop. Nice. All right. Spring and plunger. And the plunger just disappeared. Just like that. That's how things happen. Oh no, it's there. I thought it flew out. Yep. That would have been bad. Okay. New lease on life with the plunger. Let's do it the way we should have done it to begin with. Professionally. Yeah, that can shoot out of there. That you'll never find that. So, just learned a lesson. Let's be very careful with how this goes on. Am I out of frame again? All right, there we are. We're springy. Now, let's get that hair out of there. Everything looks good. Now we could drop, wait, is that other thing there? Yep, now we could drop it down. I'm ready. I'm ready for it to drop down into place. Ah, yeah, nice. Now the screws. Again, don't slip. Those threads feel nice now. You know, I feel a little bit of an edge right there. Let's see what's I still feel like an edge right here. You know what? Maybe that's just because the screw has to be snugged down. Let's see. I feel like an edge on the plate right there. Not here, not anywhere else. Just right there. I bet you that's just because, you know, this screw actually does do something. It's not just there for looks, it's holding the plate down. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, I saw it move. Oh, nice. Let's just do these hand tight for now. And let's get this in. This was a little snug coming out. Oh no, it went in nice though. Oh yeah, that felt good. Let's get over here. Let's get this guy. Oh, we didn't clean this one. Let's grab it and go counterclockwise. Nice. Ooh, this came off. That's spring-loaded too? I didn't know that. Look at that, there's a spring in here. I didn't even know that. This came apart. Okay. Good enough. You see that? I did not know that. Could have lost parts like that without even realizing. Should have maybe looked at a little how-to before doing this, but look, it is what it is. Clean in there. Oh, that was dirty in there too. Now I'm excited. Let's see what's going on over here. This has to be spring-loaded. Interesting. Let's just clean the spring off. I want to remember which side of the spring is facing into here. I don't know if that matters. Get that in there. This little cup. Again, make a point out of this. Get in there. I think this will fit in there actually. Will it? I think it'll just fit. Yep. Ooh, yeah, that's clean now. Ah, nice. That's a nice feeling. It doesn't always have to. Yeah, that is springy. Absolutely. And then you know what? I realized too, I did not get this in here to clean out those threads. So let me just do that. Just do a little thread cleaning right there. And then just the teeniest bit of oil right there. See, I don't like the way that fell out of the, oh wait, no, as long as that is still in that cup, that's okay. Then the spring won't get binded. Yeah, that's okay. Just that other cup, the spring could like not seat inside of it, right? But this one's big, so it'll be fine. Nice. So let's see. How much do we snug all of these now? This one I'm thinking, is this the right bit for this? Where'd the other bit go? Yeah, that was the smaller one. This is the right one. So this would just go like that. That's it. Let's see if that feels right. I think so. Let me back it off just a hair. See what that feels like. Whoops. It feels about the same. So I'm thinking where it was before was better. Right there. Just where it stops. Doesn't feel like you need to tighten it. You just need to turn it till it stops. And I'm thinking that these side plate guys are similar. That's all. That's all. That's all you need. All right, let's move everything out of the way. One nice final wipe down here. Especially by these grips. I'm going to put the grip panels on now. I just want to make sure there's no hand oils on the metal down here. And then the grip panels. Screw counterclockwise. Look, look, I'm telling you, it's the little things. See, with these, you want to make sure, you know, if you got a screwdriver too wide, you're going to dog the wood here. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. I've seen, I mean, it's just, you think that would just be common sense, but you see people messing stuff like that up all the time. Not too tight with the grip screw. And ladies and gentlemen, I think we're done. Let's see how this feels. Oh, yeah. It's a huge difference. I'm sorry, but it really is. That matters. And now we know we're nice and super clean and super lubed. We're clean and even this latch release, it feels better. It really does. It's snappier. It was a little bit of gumminess feel to everything. Just a little bit. That just old oil feel. And that's gone now. So there you go. 50 minutes of cleaning a Colt Detective Special without taking any of its internals apart. So, right, that's where we're at. You know what I'm going to do? I got confident enough now to dig into, let's dig into these guys. We got the Army, the Officer Special, the Officers, what is it? The Officers Model 38 and the Army Special 38. They feel good. They feel clean. But I think we'll do a follow-up video. We're getting into these a little bit bigger. You know, see these side plates are a little bit larger, but we're basically dealing with the same thing. Now that we're confident and we're familiar, let's see if these guys have that same little plunger guy going on. Let's see if they got the same kind of plunger here. Oh, that's different. It has like a retaining pin here. That's different. This is one of the changes between these models, actually. See? That we did not cover when we did either of these guns, is that there was a change here. See, it's just a screw here, but it's a screw with a pin. So I'm not really sure how much of a difference this is going to make on disassembly or anything, but there's going to be something different going on here. I bet you it's not that plunger with the spring. Maybe because of what's going on here, the plunger with the spring was devised to replace this older kind of setup, whatever was going on. We're going to see, but we're going to get in here. These are real old. Who knows when the last time these were cleaned? 1926 and 1918. So we'll see if these look any dirtier. So if you're interested in this, I mean, stand by. We'll do it in a day or so. Get in there and check out what's going on inside of those, and then maybe even be bold enough to where can we go from there? Let's maybe we'll go inside the monster. The monster. Model 29. Maybe we'll take off this huge side plate with a crowbar and a sledgehammer, and we'll get that off and see what's going on in there. If I'm heavy enough to lift this cylinder out, if I'm strong enough, I mean, to lift that cylinder out. Let's see. And then we got the, we could dig around with the K22. We could pop off that side plate, see how that one looks. You know, these are old. What is this one, 63 or something? The Combat Magnum. Let's see what's going on inside of there. Well, this is fun now. Now I want to see what's inside. I didn't have the guts to pull side plates. Now I do. So I could do 95% of the cleaning. And unless we open one of these up and it's all totally gummed up. If so, we're just going to take all the parts. We're going to learn. We'll take all the parts apart. We'll do whatever we have to do. So that's the Detective Special cleaning. Have a good one.